slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
You know, I've made a lot of videos on mental toughness and mental visualization. In this video, I just want to briefly cover the power of visualization for race day. Okay, what you're doing in training, a lot of times we don't really focus so much on the mental preparation for our races. But even if you're putting in high volume, you're doing tempo runs, you're doing your track sessions, you're doing hill repetitions, you're doing everything properly in terms of your physiological preparation for your races. A lot of times we don't realize that, but that hard physical training, that makes us mentally tough, okay? But a lot of times we as athletes, we only focus all of our attention on the physical preparation. We place no emphasis on visualization, mentally rehearsing, okay? The good news is you don't have to spend a lot of time doing this, okay? When I was training heavily in the marathon in my prime, as a 2:43 marathoner, after I debuted, I immediately started to think about what do I need to do to go from running 2:43 in my debut to running 2:21:59. That was an Olympic trials B standard time. It was the minimum time you needed back in 2007 to qualify for the 2008 USA Olympic trials. Okay, I qualified, I got the Olympic trials A standard time, sub 2:20, 28 days after the 2008 US Olympic trials, marathon trials were held. Okay, so it was depressing the fact that I achieved it 28 days after, but at the same time, I mean, it was just like making the Olympic team for me, okay? Because sometimes the timing isn't right, but the key thing is that you continue to pursue what you want until you achieve it. The most important thing is that you achieve it. It doesn't necessarily, timing doesn't always work out perfectly, but visualization will help you get there, okay? I cannot put this in words, or I cannot express this enough about the power of visualization for race day, okay? Each day, whether it's when you first get up in the morning or when you go to bed at night, give yourself about 5 to 10 minutes seeing yourself performing at the level you're dreaming about. Passing athletes, you're in that flow state where everything is perfect, where you're passing people, where you're running relaxed, you're not stressed out. You're hitting the splits that you want. If you're trying to break, say, a 4-hour marathon, you're going through the half marathon, you see that time, you're hitting the half marathon at 1:54, 1:55, and you're like, man, I only got to run another, 2 hour. If I can run 2 hours for the next half, I've got myself a 3:54, okay? A lot of times it's just visualizing and seeing yourself routinely on a routine basis doing, training your subconscious mind to do what it is that you want to do before it actually occurs. That's what visualization is. It's seeing yourself achieving what it is you're wanting to do, what you're thinking about on a daily basis. Not just visualizing it, but writing it down. Write down your goals on a daily basis, even if it's just, on each day you're writing down 5 things you want to do that you really want to do in the race. I want to run the tangents perfectly. I want to hit my half marathon split in this time. If you're training for a marathon, if you're training for, say, an 800 on the track, you're trying to, say, break 2 hours or 2 minutes for instance. You want to hit that first 400 meters in 57 seconds, and you want to come back in at least a 60-second half. Okay, second 400 meter, and get that 157 or 61 and come back with a 158. Okay, you have to, if you do this routinely on a routine basis over several months, and more importantly, and this is the honest truth, in most cases you got to be doing this on a routine basis for several years. Okay, because we don't reach our peak in this sport of track and field. Most times in track and field you reach your peak around in your mid-20s, late 20s, if you're still competing in the track and field, which you still can do as an unattached athlete. But in marathoning and road racing, usually we reach our peak early 30s. Okay, I ran my PR of 2:19 for the marathon when I was 31. My PR for 10 miles, 50:54 when I was 31. 107.06 when I was 31 and a half marathon. Okay. Literally all of my PRs I hit when I was 31. But you can still compete at a very high level in the sport when you're in your late 30s, 40s, 50s. Okay. There's athletes out there training in their 60s and 70s. Huge respect for all of you that are out there that are in your 50s and 60s still competing. You know, I had a consultation call just recently with a gentleman that's 58 years old, just recently ran a 2:57 marathon at the Marine Corps Marathon. Okay, Marine Corps is not a fast course. That is not a fast course. But this gentleman at 58 years old ran an elite, in my opinion, an elite time, especially at 58 years old. Okay, so this gentleman also is very well focused on mental rehearsal, visualizing. He wants something badly. You know, he's willing to put in the work on a routine basis. It's not just the physical training that makes him succeed. It's also his mind. It's also he's thinking about, how do I get faster? What do I got to do? What strategies do I need to adopt? What are the things that I need to do that I haven't been doing in the past that I need to start implementing in my training? Okay, as we talked on the phone or over the call, video call, he said, I need to maybe change up my taper. Okay, I've been doing 3-week tapers and I'm not really going into my races feeling very strong. We talked about a 10-day taper, keeping the volume, keeping your intensity high up until 10 days out. Okay, 10 days of lower volume, lowered intensity is plenty of time to go into your race feeling more rested. You don't want to feel lethargic and tired going into your race. That's what a taper should do. You shouldn't feel tired or lethargic. You should feel rested, recovered, rejuvenated, you know, and you've given your body ample time to recover and heal up from the heavy volume that you've been doing the several months leading into your race. Okay, but the physical training is absolutely vital, but without mental rehearsal, without mental visualization, spending some time each day seeing yourself performing at the level that you're dreaming about, you're really only doing 50% of the work. Now, below this video, I'll leave a short video by Billy Mills. Billy Mills was the last American to win the 10,000 meters in the Olympic Games. Okay, he visualized in his notebook, he was talking about that he wanted to run 28:25. And he wanted to be the best in the world. He went into the Olympics about 2 minutes slower than the guys that were the best going into the Olympics. He ended up winning the gold medal and running 28:24, close to about 2 minutes faster than he had ever run before. Okay, that video, I've watched that video hundreds of times, literally hundreds of times over the years, because I wanted to study what it is that the best runners were doing that I was not doing. Okay, so one of the best things that you can do as an athlete is to start implementing mental rehearsal and visualization into your routine. Do not just do physical training, because I promise you, the athletes that you're going up against, like me, they're doing mental training and physical training. They're doing both of them combined, and they're just as disciplined in their mental preparation as they are in their physical preparation. So if you're only doing physical training and you want to be the very best that you possibly can be, you need to start doing this. Make this a part of your routine. You're going to be more confident. You will have been training your subconscious mind to be doing something that it is that you're dreaming about, and you're doing it on a routine basis. It's like doing strides. Okay, we don't think about, strides are so short. We're doing those 50-meter, 100-meter strides, 4 to 5. This is how I have my athletes in the training plans and the running courses I teach. I tell them, do those strides, 4 to 5, 150-meter to 100-meter strides on your track workouts before you start doing your hill training workouts. Maybe they're hill reps. If you're doing your tempo runs, or if you're doing your faster, varied pace long runs, start off doing those strides. Over several months, not days, but over several months, these athletes, without even thinking about it, will have spent several miles, several kilometers at sprint paces on top of the speed training they've been doing over the several months, long runs, the volume. That's what makes athletes dangerous. The athletes that have spent sufficient time training well below their goal race paces. They're able to sustain their race pace for a longer period of time because they've improved their lactate tolerance. They can hold race pace for an extended period of time, longer than their competition, because they've done their homework in training. So I hope this video on the power of visualization for race day has been helpful for you, just to hear some of my own background and how these techniques and strategies can help you in your own preparation. So thanks so much for watching this video. Please like and share it. I really appreciate that. Thanks for all of my old as well as new subscribers. You make this channel. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for your comments as well. And just letting me know how your training is going. Let me know in the comment section below how the power of visualization has helped you in your preparation. I'd love to hear that, because I think that a lot of times we just put all of our emphasis on just physical training. I got to put in 80 miles a week or 120 kilometers a week, or I got to do this for 8 to 24 weeks in a row, where I'm not going to achieve the goal I'm aiming for. It's not just about the volume. Sometimes you can do much less volume, but do more quality work and get better results. But if you're not, like I mentioned, if you're just doing physical training and not mentally training as well, you're only doing 50% of the work, and you're going to be up against a huge brick wall if you're just focusing on physical training in and of itself, because there are world-class athletes, national class athletes that are in your local region that right now that are currently better than you. I say currently because it's just a matter of time before you surpass what they've done. They're putting in that work physically as well as mentally. So start implementing this. I promise you it's going to help you start hitting some new personal bests. So thanks so much for your support, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.